Scientists, engineers, or everyday dreamers? Who will humanity send first? As we stand on the cusp of interplanetary exploration, the question of who will make up the first 100 people on Mars is not just a matter of logistics. It's a fundamental inquiry into the values, ambitions, and practical needs that will shape our species' first colony on another world. The dream of reaching Mars has long moved from the realm of science fiction into the laboratories and boardrooms of the world's leading space agencies and private companies. As of October 2025, efforts to send humans to Mars have accelerated, with SpaceX and NASA at the forefront of this daunting challenge. Elon Musk's SpaceX, in particular, continues to dominate headlines, with bold plans to launch a series of uncrewed Starship missions to the Red Planet within the next 2 years. These missions are not merely symbolic. They are designed to rigorously test landing technologies, surface operations, and critical life support systems. If these initial Starship flights succeed, they could pave the way for the first crewed journeys within 4 years, a timeline that feels almost audacious. Yet, Musk's vision goes far beyond a handful of astronauts planting a flag. He envisions a future where flight rates to Mars increase exponentially, ultimately culminating in a self-sustaining city within 2 decades. But before that city rises from the Martian dust, the first 100 pioneers will set the tone. Who will these people be? If history is any guide, they will not be chosen lightly. The technical hurdles of surviving on Mars are immense. Radiation, isolation, resource scarcity, and the sheer psychological strain of life on an alien planet. NASA's ongoing CHAPEA program, a simulated Mars mission conducted in a specialized habitat at Houston's Johnson Space Center, offers crucial insights. In June 2023, a 4-person crew entered the habitat, embarking on a year-long journey to replicate the conditions of Martian life. After 100 days, they had already faced the challenges of simulated spacewalks, habitat maintenance, and even crop cultivation, all while contending with the monotony and mental demands of close-quarters living. Such analog missions are more than mere rehearsals. They are proving grounds for the kinds of personalities, skills, and temperaments that will thrive on Mars. Scientists and engineers are natural candidates, given the need for constant problem-solving, equipment maintenance, and the operation of scientific experiments. Medical professionals, too, will be indispensable, as even minor injuries or illnesses could become life-threatening in such a remote environment. But technical expertise is only part of the equation. The first Martian settlers will also need to be psychologically resilient, adaptable, cooperative, and capable of withstanding stress for months or even years at a time. NASA's analog missions have shown that group cohesion, conflict resolution, and emotional intelligence are as vital as any scientific credential. The selection process for Mars has already begun in fits and starts. Nearly a decade ago, the Mars One project, based in the Netherlands, captured the world's imagination by reducing a pool of over 200,000 applicants to a short list of 100 finalists. These candidates were diverse not only in nationality, but in background, representing teachers, artists, athletes, and even writers. While Mars One ultimately faltered due to insurmountable financial and technical barriers, it provided a tantalizing glimpse into the kinds of people willing to risk everything for a shot at the ultimate frontier. Yet, the reality of who will actually step aboard those first interplanetary transports is likely to be determined by a balance of idealism and pragmatism. SpaceX, NASA, and any other organizations involved will almost certainly prioritize those with critical skills: engineers, biologists, doctors, and systems specialists. But as the mission evolves from scientific exploration to the establishment of a true settlement, broader considerations will come into play. Diversity will matter, not just in terms of nationality or gender, but in perspective and expertise. The first Martian community will need people capable of more than survival. They will need to build a culture, solve unforeseen problems, and perhaps even lay the groundwork for a new branch of human civilization. Teachers may be needed to educate the next generation. Artists and writers could help document and make sense of the experience. Technical specialists in agriculture, waste management, and communications will be crucial. Each role will be carefully weighed against the high cost and risk of transporting a human life across 140 million miles of space. There is also the question of leadership. Who will guide the first 100 through crises, mediate disputes, and inspire hope when the inevitable setbacks occur? Leadership on Mars will demand a unique blend of authority and empathy, decisiveness and humility. It's possible that some of the first settlers will be chosen as much for their ability to foster group cohesion as for their technical know-how. Looking ahead, the first 100 people on Mars may not be the final word in Martian society, but they will be its founders. Their choices, struggles, and triumphs will shape the stories we tell about our place in the universe. They will be the ones to turn barren regolith into homes, transform subsistence farming into flourishing gardens, and replace radio silence with the rhythms of daily conversation. The path to Mars will not be easy. Every candidate will face rigorous training, psychological screening, and the acceptance of real existential risks. The uncrewed missions that SpaceX plans to launch within the next 2 years will test not only hardware, but the very concept of remote, autonomous survival. NASA's analog missions continue to refine our understanding of what long-term habitation will require. Each step brings us closer to the moment when the first 100 names are called. The moment when scientists, engineers, and dreamers alike will look up at the night sky, knowing they are about to become the first citizens of a new world. In the end, the inaugural group sent to Mars will be a reflection of humanity's best qualities: our curiosity, ingenuity, resilience, and hope. They will be the vanguard of a new age, individuals willing to leave behind everything familiar in pursuit of something far greater. Whether they are scientists, engineers, or everyday dreamers, they will carry with them the aspirations of an entire planet and the promise that, for humanity, there are always new frontiers to explore.